Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Call Me When They Kiss. I'm Issa.
And I'm Sydney.
And today we are reviewing One Night Only. It came out in theaters. It's still in theaters if you want to go see it. If this is your first time listening, every Friday, Sydney and I review a different romance, movie, or TV series. And you can also join us the last Monday of the month for a bonus episode where we review a romance book. Sydney, how are you doing today?
Good. Well, no, that's a lie.
Well, I know
I'm
you're
sorry.
not that
It's
good,
just
actually.
it's my default to say good. No, I'll be transparent. I'm feeling sick and not super well. But you know what? We show up. We haven't missed an episode yet. I still have my voice. There's been a couple close calls, like where I've gotten like cold type things, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to speak, but no, I'm doing fine. And the anticipation of finally being able to talk about this movie has gotten me through my day.
Yeah, if you guys forgot, Sydney went to a pre-screening, so she saw this movie weeks ago. I was invited to go with her, but we no longer live in the same state, so unfortunately, she had to invite someone else. Before we get into One Night Only, just a reminder, our bonus episode comes out Monday, August 31st, and it's a very special bonus episode. We are reviewing Well Met by Jen DeLuca with special guest Jen DeLuca. So start reading if you haven't already. I just finished the book today and it was so cute and cozy and fun. It's a contemporary romance, but it is set in like a small town Ren fair. So it's a kind of a mix of, modern vibes plus like Ren fair vibes. And now I am like dying to go to a Ren fair.
No, I was actually just about to say that. I started it today, but then I got distracted looking up when the next Ren fair is.
Yeah.
Because they just actually had a big one in Washington, and I'm like, this looks so fun. I need to go. And I guess the big one in Utah used to be in August, but that like the heat had started to kind of become a problem the last couple years. And so they changed it to October. So,
Interesting.
you should look up when one in Idaho is, and maybe I can meet you there for one since you're already coming here for Fan X in September.
Yeah, I wonder if Boise does one. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some research because it sounds really fun. Anyway, is there anything else about our book episode we need to cover?
No, just be ready for it. I think it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Okay, in other news, the Verity trailer dropped. If you don't know, Verity is a Colleen Hoover book. Sydney and I are not, we wouldn't really consider well, maybe I should only speak for myself, but I know how Sydney feels.
What,
We're
that
not,
we're not Colleen Hoover fans?
Yeah, we're not really Colleen Hoover fans. I have not read Verity. Have you read Verity? No.
No.
Now, Sydney, are you going to go see Verity? Are you going to read it? Should we cover it on the podcast? Like, we need to, this is something we need to decide, I guess.
Cover it on, like, having an episode on it? I don't think so. Doesn't look like a romance. I'm sure we could, like, talk about it, but here's the thing. I used to have firm lines with the movies that I would see and that I wouldn't see, and ever since, like, building this platform off watching movies, I've felt a lot of pressure to, like, watch more movies. And, like, even The Housemaid, well, it actually wasn't as scary as I thought it would be, though. It helped that Issa saw it first, and she gave me some warnings to, like, close my eyes and skip the bloody parts. So technically, if somebody watched this first and gave me kind of a heads up like that, maybe I could do it, but like I just don't. We talked about this with the Odyssey. I don't like the feeling of adrenaline of being on the edge of my seat and like being spooked, you know? So I don't know. Well, are you gonna watch it?
So
Probably.
I already know everything that happens.
Okay.
Because, like, when It Ends With Us came out, I did read It Ends With Us. And I knew Verity was another one of her really popular ones, and I didn't really want to put in the effort of reading that one, but I wanted to know what happened. So I like know the whole plot. And so I don't know. I watched the trailer. It didn't particularly excite me. Yeah, I'm not like a big thriller girly. I'm not a big Colleen Hoover girly.
Yeah, I think
I
that,
don't
like, if
know.
you like thrillers,
Yeah.
like, go for it. Like, a lot of people, I mean, all of Colleen Hoover's books are pretty divisive. But this one, I mean, if you like thrillers, a lot of people have said this was the book that got them back into reading. It's like it was either
Mhm.
ACOTAR or Colleen Hoover, which is
Mhm.
kind of crazy. But from a thriller standpoint, I've heard there were some crazy twists and turns. So like I can understand the appeal if that's your like genre of choice. Um but I don't know. We're consuming so much like that I do kind of have to like start to become selective, and it's like, do I want to watch
Mhm.
this or watch something for the podcast or like for a series or,
Yeah.
like that I
Well, and
maybe
that's
enjoy
why
more.
it would be helpful if our audience, our loyal audience, would let us know, like, do you guys want us to talk about Verity?
That's true.
Even after everything we just said about how we're not the biggest Colleen Hoover fans, do you want to hear us maybe kind of hate on it? Or do you think our minds could be changed? Let us
We could
know.
also talk about the conspiracy theories that a ghostwriter wrote Verity
Oh, really?
because
I have not
everyone
heard
was
that.
saying that yeah, like I was this was like way back. People were talking about the difference between like her romances and Verity and how it's like so drastically different. Like there are some people that hate Colleen Hoover but loved Verity and that it didn't feel like the same writer to them. So,
If I can be candid, I mean, again, I haven't read Verity, but it sounds exactly like the kind of book Colleen Hoover would write.
insane thing
Like,
after insane thing.
yeah, like, yes,
Yeah.
maybe it's more like spooky thriller vibes than some of her other ones, but like, yeah, insane thing after, that's the best way of putting it. She just puts these like insane things in her books. They're like melodramas, I don't, or soap
Yeah.
operas, I don't even know. But,
Yeah.
no, it, it sounds exactly like Colleen Hoover to me.
It is really crazy that this is her fourth adaptation, film adaptation that's coming out in what, like 3 years? Is that when
Mm.
It Ends With Us came out?
Yeah, when did that?
Like, she's like on her way to become like the next Nicholas Sparks of like romance books to movie adaptations. And I just think that, like, I'm sorry if you're a Colleen Hoover fan, but even if you are a fan, I feel like it's just like a fact that there are better romance books out there. And
Well,
it's just
can't
like
are they
crazy
even
that this
romance?
is, yeah, they're just like, I mean, like, they're just so heavy drama, I guess. The other ones, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's just like, wow, four in 3 years out of all the wonderful, incredible books we have out there. It's just kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And that they're all getting theatrical releases.
No, literally. Speaking of having to be more selective about what we're consuming, sometimes stuff comes out and I'm like, why did nobody tell us this was coming out and that we should be watching it? Because something that was completely not on me and Sydney's radar was Sterling Point.
Yeah.
And
I'd
now
seen
everybody's
some stuff like, what?
well, next week we're doing My Brilliant Career, which I'm still excited to watch that show, but everyone's talking about Sterling Point, so I'm like, "Oh, maybe we should have done that series instead."
I've said this to Issa like several times, but it's like I don't hear about things until maybe 2 weeks before it comes out. And we post our lineups like a month in advance. I guess we could change that, but also like sometimes we need more than 2 weeks to like figure this all out.
Mhm.
But yeah, like the pace that all of this is coming out is just like insane. And yeah, it's hard to keep up, but people are loving this show and it's YA, which was
Yeah.
interesting to me.
I mean, I guess
I
The
think
Summer
that's
I
why it
Turned
wasn't on my
Pretty.
radar too.
Yeah. But Prime does a good job with YA adaptations. Well, is it a
Uh,
book? I actually don't know.
I don't think so. But it everyone is saying that it has what every year after was missing. I think it also
Okay.
the funny thing is they all have like kind of a similar vibe and
Yeah.
aesthetic, like lakeside summers.
Teenage romance, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just like different variations of the same story.
No,
But
Prime should give us like a cozy fall YA romance.
yeah. Get away from the lakes. Get us somewhere like in a forest. Maybe add in like a sparkly vampire. I'll just take another Twilight, please.
Yeah.
No, that
Okay,
would be.
well,
I need like a
maybe
dark academia for the fall.
No, yeah, exactly. Okay, well, maybe I'll try to watch it this week. And maybe we can talk about it even if we don't dedicate a whole episode to it.
Yeah. No, I definitely am interested in seeing what the hype's about. I have FOMO.
Okay, I think you had something you wanted to say about men.
I just have one small, quick little complaint. I've seen this in the book community, but then I just like saw this in the romance movie community too. There was this like I can't remember what the page was, but it's some sort of movie platform page, whatever. And they had this guy, like this influencer type dude's top 10 rom-coms or whatever. So like click on his profile. He's like a retired, well, he says retired footballer. I don't know if that means like soccer or football. But he's a retired professional athlete. His bio says sports and romance movies. And I was like, how about you just stick to the sports though? No. Like, it's just crazy that like he has like hundreds of thousands of followers, that he's getting like platformed on these pages to like share his lists and things like this. And it reminded me of like the male bookstagrammers that just because they're an attractive man can get on TikTok and one day say, so I've decided to start reading ACOTAR. Boom.
Yeah.
Viral overnight, 1 million followers overnight because I'm a hot guy that reads romance books. And I'm like, okay, well, what about the hot girls that read romance books?
Yeah.
Are we not worth anything? But I'm like complaining about this to my husband. And he's like, well, but you know who their audience is though, right? It's other girls. And that's what like makes me more sad. That like so many girls can follow a farmer. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know exactly which bookstagrammer you're talking about, yeah.
I don't really know where I was going with this. It just like makes me sad that like we are like so quick to just like support a hot man doing and saying the same thing that we've been doing and saying forever, and that it doesn't matter until they say it or they do it. So that's my rant of the day. That you should follow more female creators.
And he's like, how dare you women be straight? Maybe we need to, think of something. Like maybe we should be like emo, but then we're like talking about rom-coms.
Yeah. We
Like
need like conflicting aesthetics.
Yeah, exactly. Conflicting aesthetics.
Well,
then people will be like, oh, what are these emo girls saying about how to lose a guy in 10 days?
I could do that.
Girls.
Yeah, I could do that. I could pull that off, I think. No, but it's funny because we already got advice on how to do this. That lady on YouTube said that we just need to flash our feet.
That's what's annoying about it. It's like, well, like you were saying, like those male bookstagrammers or like men who talk about romance movies, their main audience is made up of women. So it's annoying that if we were to flip it and do the same thing, we'd have to sexualize ourselves.
Yeah, and these guys aren't sexualizing themselves. They're like just like, I mean, they've got a cute face, obviously, but like, yeah, it's just a different ball game.
Yeah.
So don't get surprised if we get desperate and start putting our toes out in the episodes.
Sometimes Sydney does.
Just a quick little
Sydney
swish on the
notoriously
bottom.
never wears socks, even like all times of the year. And sometimes she'll be like crisscrossing her legs and she'll like flash her foot at me.
It's not even my foot. It's like literally like my big toe. Just like going a rainbow across the bottom.
I'm very anti bare feet. Anyone, anywhere.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with your feet, Sydney.
Look, Issa just doesn't know how to make the money. She doesn't know how to get the views. I'm trying to put myself out there for us. No.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're not that desperate yet.
Yeah, unlike these people in One Night Only.
Is that your transition?
Is that a segment? Yeah.
That's your segue. Sydney's the queen of segues. Okay, One Night Only. You know, I actually do think we could do a synopsis in 30 seconds for this movie.
Do you want me to do it? You want me to set a timer? No,
sure.
I'll set a timer. You do it.
Okay.
Okay. 30 seconds starting now.
Okay, so One Night Only is allegedly a rom-com, but for some reason that God only knows, it's set in a dystopian America where sex is outlawed. Premarital sex is outlawed for 364 days a year. There's only one night a year where premarital sex is allowed, and they regulate it with like these biosensor things. And basically, it's about Callum Turner and this other girl, Monica something. I think 5 seconds. They're trying to have sex on their one night of the year to have sex. Okay, let me keep going.
That's pretty good.
Callum Turner, he's dating Maya Hawke. You guys, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know any of these characters' names, okay? Sue me. Sorry I didn't come prepared to record my podcast about movies. He's dating Maya Hawke, and they're like going out to dinner, you know, their pre-dinner before this one night where they can have sex, and Maya Hawke says, I actually want to sleep with someone else tonight. I want to explore. So he's like, okay, fine, I guess I'll go explore too. And then, I guess I should say
he was going to propose to her.
Oh yeah, he was going to propose to her. And then Monica Barbaro?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the actress's name?
I think so.
She is unattached. And she's just out on the town looking for someone to have sex with, because why not? So
wait, pause. I'm gonna add something really quick. I never thought about this until like somebody on a TikTok said this, but they're like, if her goal was to like find love for this night, why would she not start that until the one day that they can have the sex?
No, literally.
Like, wouldn't you like be trying to find someone like maybe a couple days or weeks or months leading up to the day? Not like, okay, it's the day, let's find someone I can form an emotional connection with on sex night?
Literally. First of all, I saw someone say, even if she did just want to have sex, which is fine. Let me be very clear about that, and we're going to come back to this. That's totally fine. Even if she did just want to have sex, which is perfectly fine, you only have one night a year to have sex, you got to have that shit locked down. Like,
yeah.
Wouldn't you have that
Make the connection
out?
The night before.
Yes.
Yeah.
You plan like who you're going to have sex with. Now, but you're right. She wanted a love connection. Again, perfectly fine. But you're so right. Then why was she not more prepared? Nothing about this movie makes sense, you guys. Anyway, it follows them on their one night of the year trying to have sex. They don't really want to have sex with each other. It shows them, you know, meeting various quirky characters that they almost have sex with, but they don't.
Don't they like almost first sex? Oh, he throws up on her. It's like they meet, they're like crossing paths, and they they briefly talk and they think like, oh, maybe this is the person I could spend the night with. But then he like throws up because he just drank a ton when his gonna be fiance decided to sleep with their neighbor or whatever. So then he
Yeah.
throws up on her feet. And so then it's sort of got this like enemies to lovers butt head thing going for a little while.
Yes. They also like fight over a condom because condoms across the city are sold out. They have all these mishaps.
Which again, why wouldn't you have prepared for this?
Yes. By the end of the night, it's like they have an hour left. They realize that, you know, they like each other. They meet up. They have 10 minutes left, and they're like, okay, we have 10 minutes. We still have time to do this. They start making out, and then they're like, wait, no, pause. Let's get to know each other first. And I have mixed feelings about that moment, too. But we can get into that later. Also, I confirmed. Callum Turner plays Owen. Monica Barbaro plays Allie. Allie and Owen are the characters.
Okay.
Another thing, you know, I don't know what order we want to go in. There was a million cameos in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, that's a red flag to me. Like, if you need a million cameos in your movie to try to get people to come watch, that's not for me. That's kind of how I felt about The Devil Wears Prada, too.
Yeah. It's sort of like the soap opera twist. It's just like a cheap trick.
Right.
To get people excited about your movie so that you don't have to tell a good story.
Yes.
Although I did have quite a bit of excitement when I saw LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow.
Oh, that's who that is?
Yeah. I had to look it up. I was like, is that him? And I was like, no, maybe that's not him. I'm like, no, I think it's him. I looked it up afterwards.
Okay, fine. He gets a pass. Some of the other cameos, Julia Fox, who I will say looked really good. Molly Ringwald, Ben Marshall from SNL, Z-Way, a Haim sister. Is there anyone else?
Oh, well, not a cameo. Oh, did you already say Molly Ringwald?
Yes.
Oh.
I guess it wasn't. She had like a semi-big role.
Yeah.
Side
and,
character.
you know, even like a cameo like her, I don't really mind as much because like she was an 80s kind of rom-com like icon, you know? Like she was the 80s Meg Ryan. So like it's kind of fun to like invite these people back into this world, especially I think as like an older female actress that roles just start to dry up for you, you know? Like I think that it's kind of fun in a way to bring romance people back into the romance genre. But what I was going to say that it's not a cameo, I guess, but the guy, the like mandate protester that she almost hooks up with was just cast in season 2 of Heated Rivalry.
Oh, really?
So that will be interesting to see if I can like look past like the ickiness of his character in this movie to like hopefully I think we're supposed to like his character in Heated Rivalry. So
Charlie Gillespie? Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Also, I remembered another cameo, Pete Davidson.
Lots of random people to try to get people to forget about the nonsense of the story.
Sydney, would you
I have
like
a place to start.
Yeah.
Yes. This segment of the podcast I'm going to call Words Have Meanings. We can't just like be throwing words out there. My very, very first thought is this is like barely a rom-com. There's rom-coms and there's sex comedies. They're two different genres. They are not the same. The main difference between the two is that one is like an emotional pursuit love, emotional connections, things like that. And the other is, I mean, this is just what the internet says, but, specifically driven by sexual situations, lust, taboos, or misadventures related to sex. That sounds like the perfect description of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that would fall into what me and Issa have just been calling raunchy comedies. It says that these are often raunchy, provocative, prioritizing physical humor and shock value over emotional romance. My very first thought leaving this movie was like, okay, yes, that was a comedy. Where was the love story? Where was the romance? It didn't feel romantic in like any way. And the best way that I could describe the movie was just like a race to find somebody to sleep with, which is fine. Like, if that's the premise of the movie, just don't call it a rom-com then, you know? Second point. What is satire? What does the word satire actually mean? Because one of the biggest critiques of this movie is that it builds this world that is inherently political, but then, like, doesn't address it really. And people are like, well, it's not supposed to. Like, it's just satire. It's just satire. And I'm like, am I misunderstanding? Like, what is satire? Okay, so the actual definition of satire is a way of using humor, irony, or exaggeration to show that a person, a group, or society is foolish, weak, or bad. It's an art form used in writing, shows, and movies to point out flaws and push for change. By the end of the movie, I don't think it did a good job at doing any of those things. Like,
No.
there are characters that are loosely like, F the mandate, but it doesn't seem to be like destroying anyone's lives in any way that's like really criticizing it or like showing it still ends with a happy ending. So like again, I'm like, guys, I don't even think we could describe this movie as satire. I don't think it's doing a good job at being a rom-com. I don't think it's doing a good job at being a satire.
No. Yeah.
It's kind of just failing on all fronts. Sorry, that was like a long spiel, but that's how I'm feeling.
No, that was perfect. I agree with everything you said. And again, I think it goes back to the marketing. Maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention, but to me it was marketed as a rom-com, I thought. And you're right, like it wasn't marketed as a sex comedy, and it certainly wasn't marketed as like a dystopian political satire.
Yeah.
So to the people that are like giving it credit for being some like witty political satire, I'm like, I don't think that's I I don't agree with that. And even like Cindy sent me an interview with Callum Turner, and they asked him like, well, what do you make of this world that you guys set up in this rom-com? It's inherently political and is like addressing fascism and all this stuff. And he was like, oh, I just didn't really think about it. Like, I just saw it as like a love story. And it's like, okay, so like at worst he's just like dumb. At best, like his team or like whoever the makers of the movie, like that's what they told him to say, like don't politicize it and like steer clear of that. But then it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna steer clear of that, then we as the audience, why would I be giving it credit for being this political satire? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, that's giving the movie too much credit.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Did you want it to be a commentary on a political world, or did you want it to be a love story? Because he's saying it was the latter. But then other people that are giving it credit are saying that it was the first one.
Yeah. And
yeah,
like,
no, I agree.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not trying to be like overly woke, or like maybe I sound like I need to go touch grass, but like you said, words have meaning, movies have meaning. And at the end of the day, whether you think it's a satire or a rom-com or a sex comedy, all that aside, I didn't think it was that funny or romantic. So I think either way, I just like didn't like it that much. I didn't like Callum Turner that much. I didn't like the jokes that much. I didn't like the story that much. there was no yearning, not very good chemistry, not very good kissing. There was no sex in it, by the way.
Well, there was like
a whole movie
almost
about
sex with other people where he's like running around naked and she's running around naked, but like it's not between like our two leads.
Yeah. And I didn't like the end when they decided not to have sex. Like, again, that's totally fine if you don't want to have sex because you want to get to know each other first. But, like, in the context of the movie, again, maybe I need to go touch grass, but it felt like purity culture propaganda. Like, that actually really bothered me.
They just spent the whole night trying to find someone to hook up with. And then all of a sudden, like, it's just like, there's so many conflicting messages in this movie throughout the whole thing. It didn't know what to be, and it's so conflicting and weird.
Well, and like, they clearly did have a connection and like each other. Like, by that point, they had like gone through all
chased across the city for each other.
Yeah. So it's like, that's fine if you want to have sex. I don't know.
Also, like, you almost just had sex with like 3 other people that night.
Yeah.
So like, why not the one you actually like? If that was your goal, like, I don't know. It's like, it's like you have to have the context of the movie for this to make sense, though, because like the college public health person in me is like, well, you can always withdraw consent at any time.
Yeah.
And just because they were trying to hook up with people all night doesn't mean that like they have to hook up in the end.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm just saying the story for this movie was all over the place.
Yeah, it just felt weird in the moment. I was like, wait. Like, all of a sudden, it felt like they weren't... Well, I was going to say they weren't allowed to have sex, but genuinely, they weren't allowed to have sex after the night. But it just felt like all of a sudden they were like, no, we shouldn't have sex because we don't know each other well enough yet. And it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense.
The message is skewed because of the political world that they built this in.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, if this was just a normal rom-com, then maybe that means nothing. But, like, in this world where you're apparently trying to say that this setup is, like, you know, if this was a satire, that this fascist government is so ridiculous and silly and how dare they do this, and you're trying to make that message, then, like, by the end, the people, like, complying with that, what message is that sending?
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, really hard to articulate, but, like, it really has to pick what it is, and I'm sorry to bring up 1984 right now. But, like, so the ending of 1984, spoiler alert if you didn't read this book from nearly 100 years ago, it's like they end up getting brainwashed and like turning on each other, this like couple, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's seen as like a tragic ending, though. Obviously, this was a commentary on the political landscape. Like, he's writing this after the World Wars and like his frustration with like those evil governments, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so like that obviously was political commentary, and the story ending in that way like made sense in that context. That was a tragic ending, that these people like by the end like lost themselves to this government. That wasn't like endorsing the government to have the main character like turn out that way in the end.
Right.
It was a tragedy. And so like with this, if it is a political commentary, with the main characters, with this being a happy ending and the main characters like deciding to like comply with this mandate,
right,
that's not seen as a bad thing. There was no sort of like, I mean, obviously because it was quote like a rom-com, they weren't going to end it in any other way, but like I feel like it just then removes any point it was trying to make about the mandate being this negative, over-the-top, extreme evil thing.
Yeah.
Is this
No,
making
exactly.
sense?
No, it
At
makes
all?
perfect sense. Yeah. Yeah. And kind of along those same lines, another movie review podcast that we follow on social media, Medium Literate, shout out to them. They made a good point in one of their podcast clips that they posted about how this movie takes place only 3 years after this mandate took effect. And you would think, like, only 3 years into it, people would be way more upset. Like, that's not even a full presidential term. Like, I know they said, like, Congress passed it or whatever, so, like, it wasn't voted on or anything. But, like, I don't know. It's just, like, 3 years seems too soon for these people to just be like, yep, this is just how it is.
Well, and that's actually a point that and I like Jay Stubbs is her name. I like her. But I did disagree with the take that she had on this movie where she was like talking about how a lot of the people were compliant and like turning a blind eye to this like corrupt government and what was happening or whatever. And she was like, does that sound familiar? And I'm like, no, I don't relate that to my experience right now. Like, it does feel like a lot of people are upset with what's happening in the world right now. It feels like a lot of people are speaking out against injustices. Like, people are very vocally, like, trying to make change. And, like, yes, there are people, of course, that are, like, complicit with it or even supportive of things happening in the world right now. But I feel like, if you picked up our world right now and put it into this world in the movie, I think there would be a lot of vocal outrage, especially in a place like New York City.
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree with that
No, that's a good
take
point,
that,
too.
like,
Yeah.
everybody is just like, oh, well, but that's how the world is today. I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's just so interesting talking about this because, like, it's meant to be a rom-com, and people criticize rom-coms and then will be like, it's just a rom-com, just have fun and watch it. So here I am now, maybe, like, taking the movie too seriously. But the fact that she said that, like, oh, like, does this sound familiar? Like, everyone is just complicit in fascism and what's happening right now. But it's like, yeah, but art and movies and literature and books, like, though, that's, like, the best place to, like, and one of the best ways to speak out about that kind of stuff. And
Well, and
like you said, they don't really make any statement on it by the end of the movie.
yeah.
So, like, if we can't
like,
even,
they
like...
have ridiculous characters.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that's a strong enough, like, statement against what was happening. The other rom-coms where we're like, well, it's just a rom-com, just have fun with it. Those kinds of rom-coms are almost like a fantasy world. Like, politics just aren't addressed at all.
Yeah.
Which is okay because, like, that's the setting that it's making. Like, this is a fantasy world where we can, like, believe in the most ideal, like, aspects of love and connection and whatever. Rom-coms inherently are fantastical because when does it ever actually happen like that, you know? But it's like, if it's hard to have fun when it's not in a fun world. Like, we're having fun in 10 Things I Hate About, or, oh my gosh, don't do this again. And How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, because this is a world of, like, luxury diamond brand, like, marketing bids, and, like, a journalist for a big magazine in New York City. Like, that's a fun world. If you tried, like, selling me a rom-com that took place in the middle of, like, a dystopian world, I'm like, oh, well, this is weird. Like, this isn't very fun.
Yeah, no, exactly. Rom-coms are typically about escapism. Another thing Callum Turner said in that same interview where he was just honestly making a fool of himself, he said something about it just the concept just being completely absurd.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, it is absurd, but I just think that's such a naive thing to say when the government is trying to control women's bodies and trans people's bodies. And for decades, like, queer people weren't allowed to get married. And so I just feel like we would be remiss to not mention that.
Yeah, and honestly, like, Monica Barbaro, like, she tried to, like, soften what he said a couple times and was like, well, but I don't feel like a lot of people would feel that way. And, like, I don't think that it's that extreme. Like, there's certain things that take it to an extreme aspect, like the biotech of, like, hormone readers and, like, setting off things and, like, those kinds of things, sure. Like, that would be... It sounds crazy to say that the government's gonna, like, implant a chip in me right now that's gonna, like, go off if I have premarital sex. But, like, the concept of, like, just, like, the concept alone is
Surveillance?
not that... Well, not even just that, but even just, like, the concepts around sex. Like, there are still schools that are only allowed to teach abstinence only.
Yeah.
Like, and again, this isn't even, like, a conversation of, like, whether or not, like, teenagers should be having sex or anything like that. It's just that, like, the government is playing a role in that, and that the government is restricting access to information and education and preventative measures and things like that. Like, the government's doing all that they can to stop this already, and like you said, like, for other communities, they already were doing that. So maybe it didn't involve the tech, but, like, no, I don't think that it's that outrageous, you know?
Well, and, like, even with the biosensors, like, yeah, the government hasn't microchipped us yet, but they are surveilling us in so many different ways, like flock cameras and AI data centers that have access to, like, literally everything about us, and
Mm-hmm.
the FBI agents in our phones. No, just kidding. But,
Yeah,
like,
no,
what I
really.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
remember then? That was, like, a big meme on TikTok.
Yeah. Not to bring up 1984. No, I'm just kidding. No, but, like, I like I actually, like, went to Poppy's bookstore. If you haven't heard of them, they're a great local bookstore. And I went and bought 1984 because I started listening to a production with Andrew Garfield. Here's a weird tie-in. Andrew Garfield is dating Monica Barbaro.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they are dating. But he was a narrator on this, like, audio production of 1984. And I really was loving it. I listened to it on my way to see Issa in Boise, but I was like, I need to go and get the book and, like, take notes. Because just listening to the audio, like, wasn't cutting it, because so much of it was, like, applicable to today's. And so, like, it's just so funny. Like, we're talking about, quote, a silly rom-com that, like, somehow is bringing up like major plot points in 1984.
Yeah. No.
And, like, it's just, yeah, I never thought we'd get so political on this podcast, but, like, what are you doing, like, bringing politics into a rom-com so irresponsibly, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's not that you can't bring politics into rom-coms. I mean, there's a lot of political love stories, you know, like, that's there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're gonna do it in such a nonchalant way, sending mixed messages, blurring the lines, confusing people, like, it just feels like you had no business doing it.
Yeah. I mean, even Dirty Dancing, it's not a rom-com, but it's, like, our favorite romance ever, and it's very political. Another thing Stoobs was implying in her review, that, like, people were saying the movie was pro-fascism, and it's like, no, I don't actually think the movie is pro-fascism or even, like, pro-purity culture, but it brought up those things and then didn't engage with them in a meaningful way. The whole thing just, like, felt off to me, and maybe I just need to chill out and have fun, but Sorry, this is who I am, you guys.
Look, we gave you our one episode last week, raving and loving. We're back on our hater horse.
Yeah.
No, but I'm actually looking up who. Okay. Well, one, this movie was directed by a man.
He directed
Just kidding.
Easy A, though.
I did just see that. Easy A was
Yeah.
fun. But, like, Easy A even... It's like a PG sex comedy. Like, she doesn't actually have sex with anyone, but actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of similar. Like, she's, like, faking sex with everyone and, like, creating this provocative image, but in the end, she's still just a conservative girl. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's just looking for love and connection. No, I did like Easy A, though. But, like, it does revolve around, like, misunderstandings and jokes about sex specifically. And the other movies that he's done, Friends with Benefits, sounds similar. Anyone But You.
Seen that one.
We know how Issa feels about that.
Well, no, I did think Anyone But You was funny. Like, I remember enjoying it and laughing at it. I just wouldn't say it's
You didn't
like
think it was a good
classic
rom-com.
rom-com. Yeah, and that's what you're saying. Like, it's a sex comedy. Easy A, I also think... See, you guys, like, I'm not, like, totally opposed to, like, raunchy comedies or sex comedies. Like, I also like Easy A. This one just didn't do it for me. I didn't think One Night Only was, like, particularly funny.
Well, okay, it's
because
also
the
written by...
jokes...
What?
Oh my gosh, I'm like getting heated. Okay, tell me. Sorry, what were you gonna say? I have something else.
I was just gonna say that it was. I was looking at the screenwriter, and he's also a man. And it was like one of the first. It's the only movie he's written. So
yeah, he's written like Paw Patrol. I saw that, which I mean, good for him. That sounded really like disdainful. Like he's written Paw Patrol.
Hey, you know what? My kids love Paw Patrol. He's written Muppet Babies, Vampirina. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, like, speaking of me not thinking One Night Only isn't funny, like, sorry, I didn't think the Diddy joke was funny. Sue me. Like,
oh yeah,
is that crazy of me to not really think the Diddy joke was funny?
No, I actually thought the same thing. I, like, actually kind of clenched up. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What did they just say?
No, I, like, did a double take. I was like, I, like, leaned over to my sister. I was like, wait, did they just make a Diddy joke?
Yeah.
Okay, but now tell me... Now, see, tell me if I'm wrong for this.
I was just going to say, in I think it was that same scene, right? Because she said that about his bag.
I don't even remember.
Was that... Well, I was just going to give him one small positive praise was that in his party bag, he had naloxone. Naloxone saves lives. Carry Narcan. That was going to be my public health shout out. It's like an overdose reversal medication, but like they showed it and I was like, he's got his Narcan. So that we give it away at school. But anyways, continue.
Well, if I'm going to be mad about the Diddy joke, now, let me tell you one of the jokes I did laugh at.
Okay.
And tell me if I'm wrong for laughing at this one.
I'm nervous.
I genuinely am like, is it okay for me to laugh at this joke if I'm so mad about the Diddy joke? When that girl was crying at the bar, and like Callum Turner gave her water and was like, here, drink this. And then he runs off and she goes, great, now I'm getting roofied.
Oh, yeah.
Got a chuckle out of me, I will confess. Just the way she said it, I was like, it got a snort out of me.
Mid-tearing, yeah.
And I will say the other part I laughed at was when the short king was jumping on the piano in his tidy whities and then he fell off. So maybe I just have like a dumb... Maybe I just have a dumb sense of humor because like somebody falling, I'm like, tee. It's like AFV, America's Funniest Home Video.
He did make me laugh. I was like, man, I hate this guy, but like he played the character well.
Yeah.
He was also a good singer.
And he had the most famous line of the movie that everyone is quoting.
Yeah.
And to be fair, people are quoting it out of context because he was not meant to be a likable character, but he did say the most insane thing of the entire movie, which is, Maybe the fascists were right about this one.
Yeah. Well, but again, strange messaging, because he was like one of the most famous outspoken like activists against the mandate, but in reality he doesn't really care about it. He's using this to like try to sleep with women and says lines like that. It's like, so who is really against this? Like, who is really doing their part and like angry about this? No one.
And he said that, and then Monica Barbaro was like, she was like, oh, okay, I'll be right back. And I thought, oh, she's like really turned off by the fact that he said that and she's leaving. But no, she just wanted to like go to the bathroom and freshen up.
Yeah.
And then she like came back, and I was like, you're still gonna sleep with him after he said that?
Yeah.
So it was just weird.
I remember laughing at a couple parts. I just can't remember what they were distinctly. But I think I laughed more in Office Romance.
Honestly, I hate to admit it, but I think I did too.
And I guess I'd say Office Romance was even more romantic. It's a weird year for rom-coms. Everyone says this is the year rom-coms are so back, and after consuming so many with Issa this year, my thoughts are they're back, but at what cost?
Well, I think you're really onto something with like the subgenres, and I think they need to stop marketing every funny movie with kissing in it as a rom-com.
Mm-hmm. I have the same problem with books, though.
Yeah. Like everything's marketed as like enemies to lovers.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of like a man equivalent. Like it seems like like movies for women are all lumped into like this broad category of rom-com, even though they're not all rom-coms.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to think like what would be a male equivalent? Like two somewhat related genres of movie. Maybe not even specifically male, but just like
I guess maybe
lumping
like
together.
they might get offended by like just like an action movie, because like technically you could call the Odyssey an action movie, but then that sounds like it's implying that it's like, when I think action movie, I'm thinking like Mission Impossible, like silly action movies. But then I don't actually know like what genre were they marketing the Odyssey as?
I don't know. Christopher Nolan probably like has his own subcategory.
Like does that problem happen for male movies? I don't know.
It would be like lumping Fast and Furious in the same category as like Ford versus Ferrari.
Car movies.
Have you seen Ford versus Ferrari?
No.
Anyway,
but doesn't it have Adam Driver in it?
Ford versus Ferrari?
Yeah, no.
It has Matt Damon and Christian Bale, I think. It's been a while since I've seen it. I didn't think Adam Driver was in it.
No, I think I'm thinking of he's in a movie called Ferrari.
Oh,
Not to be confused with Ford versus Ferrari. No.
Okay, wait. Speaking of, this will be the last thing. I know we're at our time limit, and I honestly don't want to give this movie any more energy. But speaking of Adam Driver, I saw someone compare Callum Turner's level of attractiveness to Adam Driver. How do you feel about that as an Adam Driver fan?
Yeah, they were like, he's cute, I guess, in like an Adam Driver kind of way. And I was like, huh? There's two things I'll say about Callum Turner.
Yeah, wait, I don't even know, like, why are you going, because you think Adam Driver is more attractive, or because you wouldn't put them in the same category?
I think that Adam Driver, I find him so attractive, but he's got some, like, very literal, like, weird, like, I'd say odd features about him. Callum Turner is just, like, kind of balding. Like, I think that if you put... I think Callum Turner is technically more conventionally attractive than Adam Driver.
That's what I think, yeah, but I didn't want to offend you because we've had this argument before.
But Adam Driver's, like, whole aura and persona and who he is and his characters and everything is just, like, he's just, like, more attractive, okay? But I was also gonna say about Callum Turner balding is that Issa sent me something that said, like, he's the hottest, almost bald man. I don't remember what it said exactly.
Like the hottest
and I
man
was
on the
like,
verge of balding.
yeah. And I'm like, wait. Stop that too. Everyone, you guys are lumping him in with the wrong categories, the wrong people. He's fine. He's not ugly. But Adam Driver's hotter, and the hottest nearly bald man is Jude Law, not Callum Turner.
Yeah.
So those are my distinctions. But
Amen.
I think Callum Turner is... I kind of... Even watching this movie, I thought, yeah, like, he's cute. Like, they made some funny jokes about his appearance, actually, like, in the movie. But after that interview, I'm kind of, like, giving him the side eye now. And he's married to Dua
interview
Lipa.
annoyed me. Yeah.
So I wonder... But neither... I said this to Issa, but, like, he's not American. So, like, not to, like, give him an excuse or anything, but I genuinely wonder if, like, he doesn't understand the fatigue that we're feeling as Americans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he might not fully understand it, but like you would think he would have some sort of concept of it. Like in that interview, he didn't seem to have any sort of concept of it at all.
That's true. And I've heard
And I don't think that's the case for most I don't think that's the case for most educated people around the world just because they're not American.
That's true. Like, yeah. Okay, no excuse for him.
Anyway.
I got my eye on you, Callum. Not in a good way. Well, I felt like I was trying to like think of a way to like end this episode that like wasn't a total downer, and I didn't get that far because I knew that it would just be like hating on it, but all I can say was you should go watch Rye Lane instead. If we're talking about like recent rom-coms that we've watched, newer rom-coms, I enjoyed that one.
Well, let's end it with you guessing the Rotten Tomatoes score.
I think I accidentally saw the critics when I was looking up the director and screenwriter.
Oh, brother. Fine.
But I don't know the audience score. So what, the critics was 44? Is that
this
still
actually
correct?
is interesting. The critics is 46. What do you think the audience score is?
Wait, the critic score for How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days was 42? 44.
42.
So this is still higher? That's insane. Okay, 62.
74.
Oh, that's high.
Yeah.
Issa, everyone might hate us and disagree with us.
We're just like way deeper and more intellectual than everybody. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, I've been reading 1984. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna keep bringing up the point that, like, guys, I have read one political book in the past decade, so I am better than all of you. No,
that is so funny. 1984.
No, yeah. I mean, sorry if we offended anyone, I guess. But if you didn't think about it this way, maybe go and rewatch it with this in mind, and maybe you might view things differently.
No, I mean, I don't think anyone's a bad person if they had fun watching it and enjoyed it. But, like, me personally, it wasn't for me.
I just really, really would like some romance, please. Like, I want some yearning. I want romantic moments. I want I just want more. So, we'll see. What's next? Okay, so My Brilliant Career. But isn't there like several new releases? Was there another movie that was coming out? Another rom-com?
In August?
Or September? What will we
Oh.
compare it to next?
I don't think rom-com. I like Sense and
Oh,
Sensibility's
yeah, there's
coming
just some
out.
romances.
Verity's coming out. Yeah.
Okay.
Finding Emily, that's a rom-com.
Oh, yeah. That's this month.
Yeah. It comes out this month in the United States, and our episode for that one will come out the beginning of September.
Oh, yeah, I was like, wait, did I mess something up? I don't remember putting that on our calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's in September. Okay, well, I have a feeling Finding Emily is going to be much better. A lot of people that have seen it, like in the UK, have really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So, fingers crossed.
Also, I just remembered because I was looking at our list of 2026 releases. The Practical Magic 2 trailer played before One Night Only. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah. No, I skipped it because I haven't watched the first movie yet.
Okay. I don't know. These types of sequels that they put out decades later and are mostly nostalgia bait, they're kind of hit or miss for me. I do really like Practical Magic, but I will say the trailer, it did get me excited.
Look cute.
It looks cute. I really like Sandra Bullock, and I really like Nicole Kidman. Not even Joey King could ruin the trailer for me. Actually, I know people like to hate on Joey King, but like I don't really have anything against her. No, it looked cute, but I just want you guys to know, well, this is kind of premature for me to be saying this, but like that movie does come out September 11th, but we're saving our episode on that one for October because we had too many other September releases to cover.
Yeah, and I'll be gone.
But never fear, we will be reviewing Practical Magic too.
And Issa's watching Spider-Man this weekend, so...
Oh, yeah.
We'll probably have to discuss that a little bit at the beginning of the next episode.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I actually hate's a strong word. I'm not a fan of Tom Holland's 3 other Spider-Man movies. I did not like Zendaya. Well, no, sorry. I do like Zendaya. It actually has nothing to do with her. I don't like how they wrote her version of MJ, like in all the movies.
Yeah.
Like definitely the least compelling love interest of Spider-Man out of the 3 different Spider-Mans. And so yeah, I was never really a fan, but I like this one. Like it kind of sold me on Spider-Man. So Issa's not as much of a superhero girl as I am, so I'm interested to see what you think of it.
Well, sorry, we can save this for after I watch the movie, but I guess I'm not saving it. I'm going to say it. 2 things. Number 1, you're so right. Like, okay, I know technically in the Andrew Garfield ones, it was Gwen Stacy and not MJ.
Yeah.
But, like, only icons have played Spider-Man's love interest. Kirsten Dunst, Emma Stone, and Zendaya. And I get that maybe they were trying to do something different with Zendaya's MJ in these newer Spider-Mans. But I totally agree. It's like the blandest love interest ever. Why hire Zendaya if that's what you're going to write her to do?
Yeah.
And the second thing is, the Tobey Maguire ones are the best ones to me.
Which, to be fair, I think that these maybe came out, like the first one, if the third one came out 5 years ago, the first one, I don't know what year it came out, but it was probably like a decade ago. It might have been before her like true icon status. But no, yeah, I like Tobey Maguire's. They're like sort of campy now. They're like, the lines are ridiculous, but
it's almost
hilarious.
Like the Twilight of superhero movies.
Exactly. It's like, it's not supposed to be a comedy, but like it's hilarious if you watch it as one.
No, but it's like so good. Like I'm actually thinking about that first one with the Green Goblin. Like there's no, in my opinion, there's literally no better superhero villain than Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And like when he goes to like the wrestling match, and then like, oh my gosh, when Uncle Ben dies, and then Kirsten Dunst with her red hair, it's just iconic.
There's so many iconic lines too. He's like, I'm gonna rub some dirt in your eye. And when he's like, sorry, I can't remember what he says, but I think he's like, sorry, honey, Norman's on sabbatical, when he's like the Green Goblin. Like, it's just like the most. Oh, and I just saw one where like something explodes behind MJ, and Tobey Maguire, he's just like standing there, and he makes the ugliest, craziest like crying scream face, and he's like, no. And she's just like, they're like, bro, in the time it took for you just to like stand there and scream, you could have like went and helped her.
Yeah.
Like they're just so ridiculous.
The part that always
so
gets me is when James Franco, or is it James?
Yeah, James.
Yeah, James Harry. His name's Harry in the movie. Mm-hmm. He like gets home and he hears like the Green Goblin like doing this evil cackle, and he's like, Dad? It's like, I mean, like, it is his dad, but like if I got home and I heard that evil cackle, like I would not think it was my father.
I'd be like, who is that?
Yeah. And then like the most random line that my family always quotes is when the Green Goblin, he's trying to like convince Spider-Man to like join his side, and he goes, think about it, hero, and then he like flies off. Like, we just like say that all the time.
No, they're iconic. These are the kinds of movies that I really hold on to, like the tiny bit of romance in them, so I could be like, no, like it's a romance. Like
yeah.
the superhero movies, the Star Wars movies, like my initial introduction into it was the romance. Like that's what convinced me to watch them. And even though
because like
what?
Well, yeah, like MJ and Peter Parker's story in those Tobey Maguire ones, it's very compelling because like he's like having to choose between being Spider-Man and her, and that's just way more interesting to me than like the Avengers fighting off like hordes of aliens.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like even, did you ever watch WandaVision?
No.
It was good. That was a really lovely love story.
Yeah, I've heard that one is good.
But yeah, they've got some good love stories, and they've also fumbled a bunch of other ones, just like Star Wars has done, because it's like I feel like they realize they're attracting too many female fans, and then they've got to like push us away. They're like, this isn't for you. No. But yeah, well, I'm excited to hear your thoughts then, and that was a nice lighter note to end on.
Yeah, stay tuned for my thoughts on Spider-Man, and if we're all done, I guess we'll see you guys next week for My Brilliant Career, and maybe Cindy and I will try to finish Sterling Point and share our thoughts on that as well, if you're more motivated by that one than My Brilliant Career. But go watch the trailer for My Brilliant Career. It really does look good.
Yeah.
So
I'm not really quite sure of like the romance like percentage, if that makes sense, but I know that it still is a part of it, so I'm excited to see how it all unfolds.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to leave us a rating and a review, and follow us at Call Me When They Kiss on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we shall see you next Friday. Bye.